I'm going to put the strut back in. This should be the last time I do this, so I've got a torque wrench. I'm just going to make sure I tighten all the bolts to the correct spec. Welcome back, everyone. I think it's been 2 years since this all started. I definitely took on a car that had way more damage than I originally thought it would have. Looking back on it now, I can totally see from the original Copart pictures that with the door crushed in like that and the fender all mangled and the tire pushed in, it just makes sense that there was going to be frame damage. But I've gained so much experience from this, and I'm definitely prepared for the next car that I take on. But all the hard work is over, and all I need to do is reassemble the car and give it a polish. And in the end, you'll get to see what the car looks like all back together again. So sit back, get some popcorn, because this is the final episode of the Mustang project. After I denibbed the clear coat, I read an article and it said you should wet sand the clear coat with 400 grit. So I don't know why, but for some reason I thought that it was okay. And so I don't know who wrote that article, but that is not okay because it took forever to get those 400 grit scratches out. So yeah, you should normally just start with 1500 grit. If it's really bad, you can start with 1000 grit, and then you want to work up to 3000 grit, and then you can easily polish and you won't have any problems with scratching. Later in the video, you'll see how I had problems with scratches, and you'll see how I had to fix that. I'm just about ready to install the windshield. I've got everything prepared. The urethane is all cut down. I just gotta put some primer on it. I'm going to put some extra urethane on this part, and I'll put urethane around the border. The windshield is in, and it looks a lot more like a car now. And it was pretty easy to put in. You just put that caulking around it and then just pick it up and put it on. The next thing I'll do, I'll install the cowl panels and then the windshield wipers. And then I think I can just put on the hood after that. So I finished sanding the clear coat. It's all the way up to 3000 grit right now, and it's ready for compounding. And this is what I'm going to use to polish the car. I have all three pads. They're all Harbor Freight. So there's a compounding pad, the polishing pad, and then the finishing. And then I'm going to use compounding, polish, and then I'm not actually sure if this will do much or anything. Actually, it does polish. It says ultrafine polishing agents, so it should be permanent. So I'll start with compounding, and that'll make everything pretty shiny. It should bring it almost to the end, and then it's just getting rid of the swirls with these. Hopefully it looks like the rest of the car when it's done, all shiny. If you're familiar with 3M products, you'll probably see what I was doing. I was creating the equivalent of the 3M perfected system. I definitely got the same results as I would with the 3M system, but if I were to do this all again, I would buy things a little bit differently. For one, the foam compounding pad from Harbor Freight just seemed to fall apart really quickly compared to their other pads. It wasn't because I was using it any differently than their other pads. It probably just has some sort of manufacturing problem with it. For the perfect setup, I think you would need a wool pad so you can work with 1500 grit scratches, a foam compounding pad by someone else other than Harbor Freight so you can work with 3000 grit scratches, and the compound would be Meguiar's compound. And for the polish, you could get the blue polishing pad from Harbor Freight and use the Meguiar's polish. The black pad and the turtle wax product that I used had no difference on the shine. I think with the blue pad and the Meguiar's polish, I got the perfect shine, and there wasn't anything else that I needed. Okay, the Mustang's looking really shiny. I think it's just about done. If anything, I'll just take it out in the sun and just make sure I didn't miss anything, but I think it looks great. I like how crazy shiny this part is for some reason. It's just like how it like reflects off of these curves and stuff. And my panels are shiny and ready to go on the car. So after welding on the car, anything that was touched by the high heat of the welder that had a coating on it was burned off, and the welds itself, they're still bare metal under there. So the reason why I didn't apply corrosion protection immediately after welding was because I was going to paint the car, and this would mess up the paint. So this is cavity wax, and this is a 360-degree wand, so it'll just like coat the inside with wax basically, and so water can't like touch any of the metal spots. So let me turn on the fan and I'll do that. Now that that is taken care of, I'm going to start putting all these moldings and trim all around the door so I can put the door on and put the fender on and just be done with the car. So I just finished detailing this back glass and it looks really, really good. I pretty much just took a razor blade and scraped all of the like grime and water stains off of it, and now it's just like, it looks like glass. But I think what I'll do to protect it is I'll put some Rain-X down on it so it, you know, repels water and dirt and stuff so it doesn't get as messed up next time. But it turned out really well. I did some plastic repair to the grill on this side scoop. When I got it, this entire section was like blown apart, like something maybe hit it. It could have been from the accident, but I'm not sure. This section of the grill was actually all on the inside. So luckily I found like just everything. I didn't have to like recreate anything. You can see the grill is all back in there. So let me put it back on the car. Mustang looks completely normal now that I just put that one trim piece on. There's only one other thing to do, is put on the Mustang running horse badge, but I'll wait until I can get that wool pad in so I can polish the scratches out of the car, because you can see here in the fender, just the light, there's just a ton of scratches. It'll be a lot easier to polish this and then stick on the fender badge, so that's why I'm going to save it till I get that wool pad. So this purple looking wool pad is what I got in replacement for the Harbor Freight compounding pad. This is called the Lake Country Manufacturing purple foamed wool pad. I thought it looked pretty interesting because it was purple, and then I looked further into it and it seems like they've got like some patented thing going on with how it like spreads on the compound or whatever, but it feels more abrasive than a foam pad, but it definitely is not as abrasive as like a normal wool pad, so I think that's pretty cool. I'm excited to try it out. So there's all those deep scratches on the car, so let me just test it out, see how it performs. That's awesome. So it actually worked. It removed all of those scratches that were in there. And you can see the light. I'm trying to focus on it, but that's just the reflection. And that took no time at all, because with the Harbor Freight compounding pad, I just spent like so much time trying to like go over everything and try to get those scratches out, but it never did. So I just spent so much time on it, but now this one works. So I'm gonna go over the car again and re-polish it. Shouldn't take as long this time, since that was really quick. After that, I took the Mustang to my local mechanic, and they were able to do a front wheel alignment, and they inspected it and it passed. It's actually been driving on the road for about 5 months now. There haven't been any problems that have popped up. The car drives just like nothing ever happened to it. Eventually I'll make a video that goes over this entire Mustang project, and I won't leave out anything. I know I deleted some videos about the lawsuit that happened. I'll just go over that, be a lot more clear, and show some documents and pictures what went on during that time. There were many points during the project where it could have gone off in so many different directions, but I'm really glad it all ended the way it did. I plan on buying another Copart project over the summer, and I think I can be a bit faster with the videos, because my main problem is that I record about 10 hours worth of footage per episode, and then when I edit I have to look through all that, so I just need to be a bit more efficient with what I record. Anyways, that's it for the series. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. It helps me do more projects just like this. Stay safe everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.